There we go. And that.
So as we said, this is something we announced this week. It's a prequel to the New Order that we launched last year.
Ooh, the pipe in the head. I love it already.
We've got a piper down.
So this section, as Matt said, escaping a prison, is going to be a little bit more stealth gameplay. Yesterday, when we were on with you guys, showed quite a bit of the action, so we wanted to show you a little bit of the diversity. This is a game you can kind of play as you see fit, so if Matt wanted to go in guns blazing here, he could. But
Beautiful.
Being stealthy draws less attention, less likely to bring reinforcements in.
I love seeing that you can peek out from around corners like that.
We'll see how long I stick with the stealth thing once things go south.
That's my thing. It's like
In the face.
I love being stealthy, but at one point you just got to go Rambo.
But this is a standalone DLC sequel thing that we put together. Rather than having it require the original game, we wanted to create something that whether you bought the game last year or not,
Very cool.
for $20, PC, Xbox One, PS4, you can jump in and have a lot of fun playing Wolf shooting Nazis.
That is
Retreat.
freaking out. Yeah, and there goes the stealth aspects. It's already gone.
Yeah, that sort of went to hell in a handbasket quickly.
Yeah. See, and BJ Blazkowicz, is he? You know, he's got to be blasting. I love the idea that it is a standalone DLC. It doesn't require the New Order. Now, in terms of the story, oh my God, you can do that. You got this.
You can do it, Coach.
There you go.
No.
Maxed out. There we go. Oh yeah. Shoot those Nazis dead. Okay, beautiful.
All right, regroup.
So as far as the story, obviously the New Order takes place largely in the 1960s. You start the game kind of in the past, but you end up playing most of the game is about what happens after the Nazis win the war. The Old Blood takes place while the war is still going on. It is a prequel to the New Order, and it sort of leads up to the moments right when the New Order starts. So it's about finding out where Death's Head's compound is, assaulting Castle Wolfenstein and trying to get that information, and as Matt said, trying to get the hell out. It's actually broken up into two chapters that work together. Each has its kind of own little story arc and own bad guy that you're dealing with, and we're again here in the first part.
Very cool.
Dealing with Rudy Yeager and
The Den of Wolves.
The Den of Wolves in the Castle Wolfenstein.
Badass.
And if you're familiar with Wolfenstein, any of the early Wolfenstein games, there's lots of little nods, obviously, locations you'll recognize from early games.
It's so beautiful, which I did. Wolfenstein, one of my favorite memories growing up. Just really quick in my old tech ed class, like it was a reward that you could go into the computer lab and play Wolfenstein if you were done with your
Nice.
your projects. So my projects were always rushed and crappy because I was like, I got to get on that Wolfenstein.
Do whatever you had to check that box
Exactly.
and get back to playing, right?
Yeah. Very cool. I love that, like you said, contains lots of nods to the original.
Right, and it obviously offers a variety of different types of enemies, tech, weapons, because again, this is sort of in the early days of the Nazis taking advantage of the technology that they've found and are using. So when you see super soldiers, it's the earlier versions than the ones you see during the New Order. There's Panzerhunds, but they're actual armored dogs as opposed to big robot dogs that would have developed later in the 1960s. So it's a little bit more old school, some different weapons.
Very cool. I love, like you said, like how you can see the transition there.
Yep. The pipe is a new thing. You saw Matt take out a guy early on with the pipe. It's not just a melee weapon, but it's also useful for traversal. There's a variety of different places throughout the game and throughout the levels where you'll find the opportunity to use the pipe to access areas you wouldn't otherwise be able to access. So it sort of serves a dual role and opens up the gameplay a little bit more as a result.
Very cool. So seeing like
Good job not dying so far, Matt.
Pretty good no stealth gameplay.
I was gonna say, like, now are you like at some point are you gonna be able to just kind of like creep into the shadows and let things kind of?
Well, so right now there is still one officer out.
You can see the broadcasting alarm up in the top right, so we sort of let you know where the commanders are that you have to sort of shut down for them to stop calling in reinforcements.
Okay.
So Matt's biggest problem right now is he's got one guy.
Is I haven't found that guy. And here he is.
There he is.
In the face. In the leg.
There you go.
You're done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Feel nothing. They're Nazis. It's fine. It's totally fine.
And it is a game that allows you to do sort of stealth or combat as you see fit, but there's obviously times where combat is going to be your only option. It's not a game you can stealth all the way through start to
Absolutely.
finish, but it does play out pretty differently depending on those moments that you choose to use stealth and sneak around guys, find secret passages to get to areas you wouldn't otherwise be able to get to.
And then there's times for the comp pistol, which is a little pistol like rocket launcher that just
wow,
toast. You're
love
toast
that.
too.
This is one of the new.
Oh, vaporized him. Wow, the blood vapor. Wow,
This is my redemption.
I'm loving it. See, now this is my style of game, like the gameplay. Like in this game, I admire that. Like you can go in, like you know,
It lacks subtlety.
Yeah, well, no, like you said, like you could go in, you know, creep around, you get some stealth kills in there, but you're probably these guns are just too good to not just go in blazing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at this.
Grenade.
Rambo style. Beautiful. Now, when can we expect to play the Old Blood?
It's coming out May 5th, so it's right around the corner.
Cool.
And obviously happy to be showing gameplay for the first time here on Twitch yesterday and today, and probably do a few more of these on our own Twitch stream between now and launch. But yeah, we wanted to do something where we could get it out a little quicker to the most folks possible, and do it in a way where you didn't have to play the previous game. Although, as you said, Wolfenstein, the New Order, really thrilled how many people played it, how much they liked it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a nice reboot for the franchise. Where Wolfenstein, you know, had gotten a little long in the tooth, and the Machine Games guys, all credit to them, taking something that they loved and that is, you know, kind of beloved and iconic in the industry, and rebooting it, bringing a lot of character and story. And
Absolutely. I mean, when you want to talk about first-person shooters, I mean, Wolfenstein, I believe, basically wrote the book.
Yeah.
Pattern familius of the whole genre, and it's great to see that you know, Wolfenstein games still being made, and really with like such great emphasis on like the action.
Yeah. Hello to our watchers in Sweden at Machine Games. Hope you're enjoying.
Now, when you said that you were going to be streaming some gameplay, for, like now, you know, before the release in May.
Yeah.
Was that on a particular Twitch channel? You want to give a?
Yeah, that's twitch.tv Bethesda. We're actually on Monday afternoon. We're streaming the first look at the Evil Within DLC, The Assignment, as well.
Very cool.
which comes out
Tuesday.
Right. So
Sweet.
we usually we try and stream once every week, once every other week, and give folks a chance to see either old stuff that we do have done. Matt did a playthrough of some of the Dark Brotherhood stuff in Skyrim the other week.
Oh wow.
Or new stuff like Wolf and Evil Within DLC.
I just love it. I mean, I've been broadcasting on Twitch for quite a while, and it's so crazy now seeing you know, companies like Bethesda and just you know, guys making use of the platform just to.
And this is another situation where I can start off and try to be stealthy, Matt, and we saw how it went last time. So
about 15 seconds
yeah,
with stealth.
This might be 5 seconds.
Okay, you know, in the rafters, I love it.
Up in the rafters, I'm here in the kitchen.
Going like,
got some new baddies down there with their 1946 awesome shotgun.
beautiful. Look at that
These guys.
fireplace.
It's beautiful.
It is. The game is. It's a beautiful game.
So I want to get over to that grate there to get through. Which
By the
means
way, standing in one place on the thing does not count as being stealthy for longer than 15 seconds. You actually have to move somewhere.
This is, oh man.
So it all comes down to this: can I make the jump? Because if I don't, I'm screwed.
Oh boy. Stealth is. Oh, look at that.
20 seconds.
That
was it.
That was
it.
There you go. That's
All right.
fine.
Get out of there.
It was inevitable.
All right.
One jump.
We're just gonna. There's a lot of guys in here, and we don't want to deal with them. So.
Taking flag from behind.
Right now, there's a bunch of guys in Sweden at Machine Games all shaking their heads in embarrassment and shame.
Like, oh,
Matt.
They're already typing up the email to Matt. I can't believe you did this. And
Yeah.
Oh, of course. I mean, you know, the main character's name isn't BJ Sneakowitz. You know.
Yeah.
Blaskowitz. Okay. There you go.
You got more Nazis to go after.
Pipe. I love the pipe. It's like a game of Clue in here.
and much like in the New Order, one of the fun things is there's lots of little secrets that you'll find all throughout the level, collectible items as you're going through, that we kind of encourage exploration, not only as a way to get through the level, avoid combat situations.
Oh,
no.
Oh,
Sorry.
no. Oh, no.
Sorry, puppy.
No animals were harmed in the making of this game.
Yes. It's fantasy. Like,
But there's lots of collectibles that you'll see spread around the game.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now that guy, I don't feel anything at all for that guy. Nazis, it's perfect.
The least sympathetic bad guys probably in the history of
exactly.
video games.
That's why it's so fun shooting Nazis.
Oh, throwing a knife's not going to do it. But perhaps using the pipe will.
There you go. Now, this...
If you ever want to see a good video, watch Eastern Michigan Sludgehammer. It is the funniest video of these guys trying to knock bricks down.
And I like what you're saying, where you really try and get more exploration in there, because, like you say,
again, it's one of the things I think that Machine Games did such a good job on in revitalizing Wolfenstein. Not just making BJ an actual character and getting to know him and Anya as you play through the New Order and sort of telling their stories as you go through, but also introducing that variety of gameplay, something that the guys at Machine Games are pretty well known for in previous games they made, like the Darkness Chronicles of Riddick, where they try and mix different types of gameplay, something folks really seem to enjoy in the New Order, and they continue to try and introduce those elements in the Old Blood. Although, again, admittedly, a lot of it is when you just get to have a big gun and you're blasting guys.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
There's no substitute.
Can't tell you how happy it's making me.
Oh, hello.
Vaporize these enemies. Oh. Maxed out. Beautiful. With the reload animations. Do you know about how long the content?
It's a good question. We're always a little hesitant to give out numbers because inevitably somebody does it faster than we say. Yeah. Maddie, you just played through the whole thing and took how long?
About 8 hours.
Oh wow, 8 hours. So 6 to 8 has kind of been our ballpark.
Yeah.
Took Matt 8. If you're playing on an easier mode and you're blowing right through and you don't spend time to explore, find collectibles, it might get done faster than 6, but...
who does that, really? Who does that?
But
shame on you.
For $20, it's a pretty hefty... Again, Matt, the knife not working so much in the bridge.
Yeah.
Try the pipe.
There
you go.
There it is.
For $20, it's a pretty hefty chunk. Broke it up into these 2 stories, and there is a kind of nice change of pace between the first one and the second one. We do a little bit more with the occult aspects of Wolfenstein, which you saw earlier in some of the earlier Wolfenstein games. Wasn't really a part of the New Order, but because this is set in the past, we play with that a little bit. You see a hint at that in the teaser trailer right at the end with the fiery thing that drops out of the roof and then seems to be getting up and coming at you.
Yeah.
Looking forward to telling folks. Wouldn't be a Twitch stream without Matt throwing a grenade at himself.
Exactly.
So we ticked that box as well.
Grenade out. Oh, God.
Oh.
And I think, just with the question about the length of the game overall, I think it's not said enough that a lot of focus is always spent, thinking of quantity, but it's really the quality of those hours. To me, it's I am perfectly happy playing a shorter game if my time spent playing it is if I had a good time.
Meaningful, yeah. That's a big belief of ours as well. That, and it's tough when as a publisher we make games like Skyrim where the number of hours is, insane.
Exactly.
People still playing it. People still playing Morrowind and Oblivion. So it's going to kind of be hard to make anything that compares to that.
Sorry about your legs.
Sorry, I just blew the leg up and then the body just went bouncing down the stairs. Oh, I love it. It's beautiful. Oh, love those effects.
I kind of feel like this is like a Tarantino scene ready to happen.
Yeah. The book's getting shredded. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we got
neck. Knife in the neck, yes. I gotta say, love it. Oh, wow, leg gone. Goodbye. You get into some serious stuff here. And I love the environments, like you said, the more occult aspect of it. Very
Yeah, if you're a fan at all of Wolf, getting to stomp around in Castle Wolfenstein again is a pretty great nostalgic opportunity. And if you haven't, we're trying to demonstrate that maybe you should want to.
Get in on this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Matt's still got 2 commanders who were setting off alarms that he's going to have to deal with at some point.
I just want to say, so far, you have been doing amazing. Yes, usually during these segments, the people promoting the game will, oh God. Oh, okay, that's good. I thought I jinxed you for a second.
It should be noted, by the way, that Matt and I basically had to walk about a mile to get here roughly 2 minutes before this started. So
so he's out of breath.
Yeah, it was like an endurance. It's like the, ski and then shoot a sniper rifle.
Exactly,
you had to book it because traffic was so horrible. And,
decathlon going.
Catching his breath and then actually performing well in a shooter is a tall order.
Oh, slice!
Performing well.
Oh, my God.
Or not.
Yeah, I know. See, and then of course, now that I said it, it's like, here we go.
I'm trying to give you some credit there, Matt, but I think you're used up all of your.
I'm struggling, I would say.
Like, it's all right. BJ's still kicking. Running around. Okay, here we go. We got 2 alarms going off. Wow, just taking them out. Oh, I love it.
There you are.
There's one.
Oh,
Still there.
oh, slice!
And there's the other one.
Out. Oh,
They both came to you. They were so sick of waiting for you to come find them. They just came found you.
they did.
Tough crowd. All right.
And now we're back in stealth mode. If,
Yes.
if we want to go that route.
After he's run around loudly killing everybody, now he's back to being quiet again.
And there's the use of that pipe, like I said. I love
Yep.
it. Love the multi use of it.
So that's that.
Famous last words.
So here I am. I'm at the docks. Got some guns. I got some Nazis. Dead Nazis. All right.
So, like, is there anything immediately that any fans of the New Order would notice, like, different? I know we saw in the initial trailer, obviously there's going to be some new weapons. There was maybe a tease to some additional customization. What can you tell us about that going into this?
Go ahead, Matt. As far as the new stuff, it's a sort of a combination of more of what you like and enjoyed about Wolfenstein, but with some new mechanics and stuff that make the game interesting. One of the things you saw in the trailer was this pipe mechanic that we added.
Right.
So it's a combination of a new melee weapon. You see Matt wielding it here. That gives you some opportunities to take down some of the heavier super soldiers that you come up against. But
Melee climbing.
but it also offers some traversal options. So you know how to use
we
it
saw
for-
the climbing
yeah,
early
so,
on, yeah.
so it allows you to do some more sort of exploration of gameplay space and some different traversal elements that we didn't have in.
And we have some new guns as well. The bolt action rifle, which we'll see later. The Comp pistol, which is really awesome. It's basically a pocket rocket launcher. We also have a new shotgun in the game.
Anytime you can have a pocket rocket launcher, that's a good thing.
And obviously for folks who, like yourself, who played the old Wolfenstein games, it's one of those things where you don't have to have played any of those, just like you don't have to play the New Order, but there's lots of little nods and stuff that, you know, if you're a fan of the franchise, you've been playing this now for 20 years or whatever, you're gonna get a lot of sort of that nostalgic effect out of this and getting to stomp around Castle Wolfenstein again.
And I mean, I really know that gamers appreciate that, whether they are being, brought into the new era and playing these games, or they came from the old school. You know, having those little throwbacks and Easter eggs, always.
So you can see here, Matt's taken out one of the two guys that can call in extra reinforcements, and you can see it's giving him a notification.
Getting hairy.
Yeah.
I did mention don't
Oh,
die,
man.
right?
Don't throw grenades at yourself either. So yeah, I tried to go stealthy first, and I thought I was going to make it, and
Not so much.
things didn't go well. So there we go.
And just like the other game, you have the option to do that. If you want to play a little stealthy, that's not me. That's not necessarily my style.
Certainly there's parts where combat is unavoidable. Like you're not just going to tiptoe your way quietly through the whole thing. But there's definitely opportunities where you can decide to go more stealthy or more combat, and depending on how you do that, you know, if you just want to go in guns blazing, you can. But
With a minigun.
You're also going to end up fighting a lot more guys.
Right.
They're gonna call in a lot more reinforcements and make it a lot tougher to deal with.
So looks like I got out of that okay.
You did make it through.
Glide.
The one guy in the area is like, nope, I have a single job.
One of the things to point out is while the New Order starts kind of pre-World War II when you're assaulting Death's Head Compound, the majority of the game takes place in the 1960s.
Right.
The old takes place in the past. So this is all sort of World War II era where the war is still going on with the Nazis, and BJ is trying to help keep the Nazis from winning the war. So a lot of what you see is going to be a little bit more retro technology. You're going to see kind of older versions of the Panzerhunds and the original versions of some of the super soldier technology. It's a little more sort of archaic compared to the New Order, but it's because this is when the Nazis were first starting to experiment with some of this technology So your weapons and tech are going to reflect that.
And it's always like interesting from a design perspective, right? When you go back and you're dealing with weapons and or technology that maybe haven't been introduced to the story yet, or like you mentioned, like the timeline doesn't fit. So, is that challenging, or is it kind of fun to go, okay, how are we going to tackle this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it offers a lot of flexibility. That the designers are like anybody else. Like, you don't want to just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And so switching to a different era like this does give you some options. You can see here Matt using the traversal aspect we talked about, so he can kind of hold himself up with one arm as he's climbed up with the pipes, and then again, we're talking about stealth versus combat. Use a silence pistol to take out the guard. But yeah, it does offer designers and the team a chance to explore some new stuff and not kind of just do the same thing, same period over and over again. What would this have looked like for the Nazis back then?
Get a little creative with it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, plus you get to do cool new kill animations.
Pipe down.
Also, kind of a staple of the Wolfenstein series is sort of like the secrets and the things that you find throughout the levels. I assume that we have plenty of those littered throughout.
Certainly plenty of that, again, where you're going to, as you're moving through, there's going to be unlockables that you can find, and you get bonuses. Grenade in the skull.
Yes.
Bonuses for finding and collecting all of that stuff. But again, that's purely optional. It's kind of up to folks. If you want to just go through and run and gun and have a good time, it's going to offer you hours of that. And if you want to go exploring and find all the other stuff, that's an option as well.
What do you? Which bucket do you fall into?
I'm a run and gun guy.
Okay, I am too.
There's times where I use stealth, mostly when I know it's an area where if they start calling in reinforcements, I'm really going to be in trouble. So I tend to be stealthy until I take out the two guys that call in the reinforcements, and when you take out the commanders, then I know I can start running and gun and not have to worry about dealing with a lot of extra enemies.
So this is the new bolt action rifle, and I've got the attachable scope right here. Pretty awesome. Needs a little time to reload, but definitely powerful.
And obviously, as Matt's showing here, cover is still an important thing in Wolfenstein. Something that I think folks got used to the more they played through the New Order, that standing out in the open, not always the best idea, so leaning from behind cover, above it, below it, from the side, definitely important, as Matt's showing here. And it is an option with any weapon that you're using, whether you've got a scope or not, that you can use that to your advantage and not take a ton of damage while you're taking guys out.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed even the cover system's incorporated into like the new, like the climbing and whatnot. When he got to the top, there was that prompt to also be able to lean.
Yep.
I guess we'll see it right here, right?
Yeah, you're able to do that. I think there's a guy up here. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, you can kind of go in any direction you want to use cover, and there's nobody there. So that's okay. Hey, buddy.
Surprise.
So we were in the catacombs. If you noticed, we fell through. It looks like I'm getting my way back to where I wanted to be.
And just for those that are joining us, we are seeing the first shown gameplay here of the Old Blood, Wolfenstein the Old Blood, and this was announced on Wednesday. And we're saying this is the first time that we've ever had a chance to check this out. So it's coming out in May, right?
Yep, May 5th. It is going to be for PC, Xbox One, and PS4, so just next gen. Allowed the team to honestly to focus a lot more on what they were doing and not have to support as many platforms, which takes away a lot of dev time.
I have to ask a question because I haven't seen anything about it yet, but at the end of the trailer that opened up the segment, we have that part at the end where there's a shotgun and he picks up the hacksaw and he proceeds to make some modifications. Can you give us any additional information on that, or will we see anything here, or tell me?
Well, certainly if we put it in the trailer, there's got to be something going on there. We wouldn't never show you something that wasn't in the game.
Ultimate tease.
I will tell you this. We're not talking a whole lot about that yet, but I will tell you that there's a bit more of kind of the occult in the Old Blood than there was in the New Order.
Okay.
A bit of a nod to some of the previous games, like Castle Wolfenstein, where there was some more kind of occultish stuff going up, and bodies falling through the ceiling and then being on fire and getting back up again. Something's obviously going on there, but what's going on and what BJ is going to have to deal with, we'll probably hold off talking about it a little bit. But you won't have to wait long.
No,
May
not at
5th
all.
will be here before you know it.
Not at all. Okay,
and
that was a good
secrets.
tease. That was good. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
So I think we're going to jump ahead to another part.
Okay,
So let me just.
that's fine. So if you just joined, this is the first time that you're ever seeing footage here of the Old Blood, Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. It's coming out on May 5th,
May 5th.
2015. Be available digitally on.
Xbox Live, PSN, Steam, all your standard digital places. Yeah, we're really excited to get it out, folks. It is Xbox One, PC, and PS4, so we're not doing it on 360 and PS3. That was a conscious decision to try and focus our time and attention and resources on getting it done more quickly and getting it out to to as many folks as possible, and kind of having it be the same game and not worrying about last gen and this gen. Yeah, we're super excited. We're really close. What you're seeing here is obviously still in development, but we are pretty close to being done and wrapped, and excited to get it to folks. $20, not asking
No,
for a
I
lot
mean,
to jump in,
I mean,
and you don't need the previous game.
For a self-contained gaming experience, that's really fantastic. All right, so Matt, tell us a little bit more about like where we've jumped ahead to here.
Okay, so we got. Well, I was basically. I got the door open to get into Castle Wolfenstein, and now we skipped all that. So now we've jumped ahead to. I need to get the hell out of Castle Wolfenstein. So I am making my escape plan right now. Pull this lever.
Matt, I saw too. You ended just by the skin of your teeth. There's a couple times you were down to that 2-3 health. I noticed.
It was a little rough, yeah. So hopefully I can survive here. A little pro tip: if you see a hole in the door, might mean there's somebody waiting for you. Just shoot them. So that's that cover mechanic. Usually I got to run like hell right here. Did I get him with the throwing star? I think I just called the knife a throwing star.
So Matt, what's your favorite weapon?
You know, I'm really liking the bolt action rifle when I've got the scope on. Shotguns are always fun, and 2 shotguns are even more fun.
And the comp pistol, being able to shoot grenade rocket things from your little.
Yeah, that was like the pocket rocket launcher.
Yep.
Yeah,
saw that in the previous run.
Because grenades can be pretty difficult to find. We don't put a ton of them in the level, so having not only grenades that you can throw, but also having a weapon that shoots them as well is a pretty handy one too. When you've got groups of enemies, and you'll find quite a bit in this game. You're dealing with groups of enemies.
Oh. All right, this is getting hairy. I'm getting that.
Pull the lever. So Matt's making his way onto this cable car that's going to help him get out of Wolfenstein. You saw snippets of that as well in the trailer, and the guys did some really great stuff, both visually and from a gameplay standpoint.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with him right now. Too much. Peace out, Cub Scout.
There you go.
So scenic journey. Here we are.
Well, I'm sure it'll be a very quiet ride.
Yeah, from here,
right?
really, honestly, the rest of this level is like a really pleasant hour and a half just ride on a cable car and nothing actually happens.
Have a cigar, just relax.
The true Alp simulator here.
It's like the version of Die Hard where the terrorist forgot to show up at the hotel, just hanging out, talking to his ex-wife.
It's just a Christmas party. That's it, guys. Almost at it.
So, yeah.
The rival cable car.
It's the West Side Story of Wolfenstein.
Fierce competition.
So he dropped a grenade. That's helpful for me. Go.
Or he's been taking grenade throwing lessons from you and just throwing them at himself.
Hey,
There
That works pretty
was
good.
that questionable grenade toss early on, but I thought Matt could have just said, well, in case they came at me, I threw sort of a defensive grenade, if you will. But
In truth, we know that's not what he was actually
of
doing.
course.
Go. Did we get them all? No. Hello.
There's quite a few baddies on that guy.
Yeah, we were talking before about stealth versus combat and opportunities to do that. You're not stealthing your way
Exactly.
out of this. This is obviously one of those opportunities where the Nazis have to die, and you're gonna have to fight your way out.
Yeah, if you duck down, they're not just going to go away.
Here's another example of being able to use your pipe for opportunities other
Oh,
than just
okay.
melee.
And I mean, I have to say, like, similar to the New Order, the game looks to be some unforgiving parts. Like, we're not dealing with enemies that have terrible aim. They're gonna hit you. It seems like even if you are gonna be running gunning, you still have to like be smart about it.
It's definitely challenging, for sure. We can neither confirm nor deny that Matt is getting any additional artificial help on this level. Keep him from dying repeatedly. We'll put it down to his unbelievable skill.
I'm skilled.
in shooters. But yeah, it's definitely a tough game.
Look at that. Look at that. Come on.
It's definitely a game that is challenging, and certainly on the, as with the New Order, on the tougher difficulty.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
It can really be a challenge, particularly when you're dealing with some of these big heavies like this guy here. They are not easy to take down.
Yeah, that was actually one of the things I really enjoyed about the New Order. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the Old Blood, because I feel like it has that same feeling of challenge. Like, there's not going to be much hand-holding here.
Yeah, and we don't want it to be too one note where it's always the same. So the way that challenge comes across and the different types of combat challenges you have to deal with will vary from time to time. That's probably not a good sign.
Down.
As you may recognize, those are the fighters that you end up facing in the early part.
Right.
BJ's assaulting Death's Head's compound.
Everybody's got drones.
Oh, these damn things. I swear to God. The number of time those things managed to kill me in the New Order.
Attacks from above, side,
Yeah, this is.
and drones.
This is a lot right here.
This is chaos.
All right, one drone down.